Morning. Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley Jones, and I am covering Chapter 3, Learning from Supervision, in our textbook. So, supervision, what is it for? What are the types of styles and different experiences based on practicum stages? This is some of the stuff that Chapter 3 covers. Supervision is used in the social work profession and as well as internships. So it's really important to understand the different types, styles, approaches, so you can get the most out of your internship. So understanding supervision. In practicum, a supervisor's role is to monitor, educate, direct, and support. Their purpose in an agency is to act as a mediator between social workers and administrators. They do represent the agency during interactions with other agencies, and they respond to complaints and deal with conflict resolution. There's three different functions of supervision: administrative, supportive, and educational. The administrative function is the assigning, monitoring, and evaluating of services, while the social workers and interns underneath them. Educational function is providing formal and informal orientation and training. They keep track of staff's professional development and documentation of work and things of that nature. Supportive role, they sustain staff morale, cultivate teamwork, they build commitment to the agency goals, and provide encouragement and support. There are different types of supervision. As interns, we're doing individual supervision, which is us students and an agency field instructor. In the profession of social work, there could be group supervision, peer supervision, formal case presentations to work on a specific case for feedback from supervisors. There's also virtual supervision via, computer, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, and things like that. We can have observation where we observe practice and then discuss it with our supervisor and practice our skills with role playing and modeling and discussing interventions and techniques in clinical supervision. This chapter discusses really important ethical and legal obligations. Field instructors, they take these obligations on with regarding responsibilities relating to quality of work, outcomes of supervisees, and competence for practice. It's important that we understand that supervisors, they're subject to being held liable for any negligence or failure to properly supervise their employees or their students, such as failure to provide guidance in ethical decision-making, resulting in ethical violations, or a violation of professional and personal boundaries, things of that nature. They can also be held liable for, or it's called vicarious liability, where us as interns, they can be held liable for ineffective, incompetent, or unethical actions on our part. So it's important to note that. They are also accountable for complying with standards of care, which is appropriate interventions for clients, and standards of practice. So that's professional expectations. So supervisors have certain tasks, and based on these tasks, they have certain styles. So it's important to kind of familiarize yourself with your supervisor and how they perform their role with you. They could be extremely hands-on regarding attention to detail or delegation of work. They could just be kind of a broad supervisor and put some of the work delegation on the task supervisors. They can monitor you closely, or they could allow autonomy. So it's just important to kind of familiarize yourself with how they're supervising and go with the flow on that. Students have different experiences as well as supervisors. During each practicum stage, during the orientation stage, of course, we could be nervous or enthusiastic. Same with supervisors. They're motivated to teach us. We develop an ELP, and training that the supervisors provide for us. During exploration and skill building stage, we maybe become less anxious. We're growing confidence. We're implementing the ELP. The supervisors could allow more autonomy. They become aware of the student's strengths and limitations. They continue to monitor us into the beginning competency stage where we become, as students, we develop more insight and self-awareness. We're identifying personal growth needs, and the supervisors becoming more confident in us students as entry-level practitioners and still continuing to helping us refine our skills. A really important aspect of this chapter is to know your state's standards for supervision. I'm in Texas. Most of you are. One or two of you are out of state or even out of the country. But basically, this chapter um, encourages you to read the laws and the guidelines for your state regarding social work profession and supervision, basically their degrees, training, supervision, their expectations and things of that nature. So when I post this, I'll put a link to the Texas Administrative Code that lists all of that for Texas. Also, I'm going to go ahead and list the Nassau Code of Ethics on supervision, and it discusses the legal and ethical responsibilities, aspects of supervision covered in the Nassau Code of Ethics. Thank you so much. That's all I got for chapter 3.